Welcome to the My Creative Days podcast, where we will talk about all things DIY, home decor, decorating tips, and creating a beautiful home on a budget. I am hoping our time together will spark a creative idea, help you plan your next DIY, or inspire you to finally tackle that project you keep putting off. Grab your favorite cup of motivation and let's chat. Hello and welcome back to the podcast. Today we're going to talk about goals. Goals and something that since we have relaunched or launched our Furniture Flipping Academy, it's something that these things are helpful to anybody that wants to set these goals. So whenever we launch something new, I always say, if I'm on social media or something, I will say, please reach out to me if you are on the fence or you have questions or you have, concerns or whatever it is. I want to make sure that I answer them because, especially with like the launch of this academy, we will have an open and close date. So it's not just going to be available all the time. So I want to make sure that the people get in that want to get in, So I always say, any questions, ask them all, because I want to make sure I answer them before like the cart closes. And so, one of the things that came up a lot was about goals, and people will say, I have this goal. I know I can do this. My goal is to have a furniture flipping business, or to just start it, or to have a side hustle, but da 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 da. And so I always answer every question that comes into me through Instagram, through email. And so I thought I would put together a little podcast today because this could be helpful to somebody else here that listens to the podcast. So setting goals is important. And I know, but here's the thing. I'm also somebody I don't do, what do I want to say? Like New Year's goals and New Year's like resolutions. Matt and I will sit down and do some, I guess we'll call it like financial planning and stuff at the beginning of a year, but I don't do the resolutions and like this big year thing. But when I do set out, for a business or for a goal, something like I want to start doing, or I want to, change or whatever it is, setting goals, it's an important step, towards achieving any success in whatever you want to do. But it's not easy to stay motivated. And it's so true when people say, take motivation out of it, because there are so many times I'm not motivated, but I'm 1000% dedicated to this thing, and whatever it is. And for me, and, the reason I'm doing this podcast, it's about business or starting this thing. Motivation, you're not going to have it all the time. I am here to tell you. Working out, all the things that you want to do, motivation is not going to show up all the time. And that's when you need to lean into dedication. And it's just so true. Some days you're going to feel like you're going through the motions, because you're not motivated, but you're going through the motions. You're actually doing the thing. So you're dedicated to it. And that's what's going to see you through. There's going to be days too that you're fully motivated. Like you don't even have to, ask yourself twice to get it done, or you're super excited to get it done, or you're super excited to work towards it. But a lot of people will say to me, I lose motivation, or after the first week or after the first month, and I lose motivation. Yeah. Guess what? In life, you are going to, in a lot of things in your life, motivation's not going to be there. So you need to lean into dedication and your goals. You need to really, really, really focus on that end goal, and just know that motivation is not going to get you there. I'm here to tell you it will not get you there, but dedication will. Dedication and hard work. So there's a few things that you can do to make it a little bit easier to achieve your goals. And so these are the things that have worked for me over the years. And so I thought I'd share them with you today. Number one, your goals have to be specific and measurable. You've heard that before. And so when people say to me, so if somebody reaches out to me with a question about the Furniture Flipping Academy or flipping furniture, and they will say, and I'll say, why do you want to do this? And so they'll say, I want to make money. I'll say, what's your goal with it? I want to make money. Okay, well, what's that mean? money is different for all of us. The amount of money you want to make is different from somebody else. The reason you want to make money is different than somebody else. So you telling me you want to make money, okay, what does that mean? You need to be specific. You need to have ways to measure it. So I want to flip furniture to take more vacations, pay down debt, pay for tuition, be able to go to Starbucks every day, be able to buy whatever I want at the grocery store, whatever it is, pay for gas, whatever it is. Like, it's going to look different. But it also, when you're setting out to like flip furniture or make more money, so what's that look like? Do you want to make $1,500 this month? Do you want to make $3,000 this month? Do you want to make $5,000 over the next 6 months? Like, being specific, and that right there is measurable. You've got an amount, you've got a time frame, you've got what you're going to do. You want to flip 4 pieces of furniture over the next 3 months and make $3,000. That's the kind of goal you need to be working with. And so having those clear targets and deadlines, that's just going to, give you the pathway and what you need to do to reach those goals. So then, you break down those bigger goals into smaller goals. Okay, I need to be thrifting or searching on Facebook Marketplace 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, or whatever day is the good day to go, or the good day to search, from 8 to 9 a.m. and 7 to 8 p.m., whatever it is, right? You make those bigger goals down into smaller, manageable tasks that you can do every day, every third day, depending on what it is. It just helps, achieve your goals better that way. Instead of just being, I want to make some more money and I'm going to flip furniture to do it. And that's it. So definitely you want to make sure that your goals are specific and measurable. Second, visualize yourself achieving your goal. What would $5,000 in the next 6 months look like for you? What does that mean? Are you paying down debt? Are you, are you going on are you planning a vacation in that 6 months? Are you paying for your child's tuition? Like, what does that look like for you? Visualize it. How does it feel? What does it look like? Are you paying off your car loan in that 6 months with that money? Are you paying your mortgage off? What does that feel like? Are you super excited? Like when you reach that goal, what does it look like? What does it feel like? This will help you keep motivated and dedicated, to that goal. So, and not always motivated. Remember, we're dedicated. Motivation's not going to always be there. Okay. The next one is create a plan and take action. So this is kind of goes with the first one with making, specific and measurable tasks. So you definitely make a list of steps that you need to take. So like I said, it could be, maybe it's, it's getting to be yard sale season. So maybe it's you sit down every, whatever the yard sale day is in yours, Thursdays, and you plan out a route that you're going to go all the time to look for furniture, or you have a thrifting route you go to. And on certain days it's sale day or it's furniture day or whatever it looks like to you. But make a list of the steps you need to take to achieve that goal. And then start taking those action steps to get there. But also hold yourself accountable and track your progress. So, when you, Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays, I need to be looking on Facebook Marketplace from 8 to 9. Thursday, you skipped it. Well, now you need to add another day in there. Like, make yourself accountable for those times when motivation isn't there and you didn't lean on dedication and you just skipped it, right? It's not the end all be all, but hold yourself accountable for that, right? And a lot of times for me, it's like, I'll have a list of things I need to get done during the day. And it's like, I don't want to do that task, but I'm going to hold myself accountable because I know tomorrow is going to be even busier and I do not want to do that tomorrow. So let's get this done today. We all have that, but it's just, if you can just kind of program yourself to do these things and think of it in a different way, it just helps. It just helps. Don't be afraid to ask for help or support. Ding, 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 ding. That will help you reach your goals so much faster. So in terms of like furniture flipping, get inside my Furniture Flipping Academy. Please, please, please. I want to see everybody in there succeed. Not only are you getting the full course that you can take at your own pace. There's not a time you have to be there and a time you don't have to be there. You can take the entire course in 3 days or take 6 months to take it. I wanted to make a course that was, it includes everything you need to know, but I'm not going to give you a time limit that you have to get it done because our lives are busy and I want you to be able to consume it and consume it well in the time that you have. So it's self-paced. You have it, you can take it however short or long you want to take it. You have a lifetime access to it. So anytime we make changes, that's what we're doing with this new launch and calling it a whole new thing because we made a lot of changes and we just added so much more value into it. You get lifetime access and that now you get that full on monthly support surrounding you after and as you take the academy. So you have to ask for support and you have to ask for help. And if you have goals that you want to reach, that is the one surefire way that you're going to get there. Learn from people that have been there before you. Surround yourself with people who are there to support your journey, your goals. Surround yourself with people who understand, who know what you're going through, who can answer your questions. Because a lot of us, especially in what I'm doing, I can't talk to Matt about a lot of the things I'm doing, so the people that are home with you or, you're with all the time, they don't get it. They just don't understand. And so when I finally, in my business, it was like, oh my gosh, the clouds parted when I found people that were like, you could say a word and they'd be like, oh yeah, that's what, this is what I do. And that's how I do it. And it's like, oh my goodness. Matt would be like, you're doing what? Where? What are you even talking about? Right? And so you just don't have that support or know-how, with the people that are inside your house. And it's not supposed to be that way, right? It's just not supposed to be that way. So knowing the importance of surrounding yourself and being able to get help and support is so imperative to your goals. So definitely do not skip that one. Next, be flexible and adaptable with your goals. Again, we are in the DIY world. We are in furniture flipping. We are flexible and adaptable people because nothing ever goes as planned, right? So same thing with your goals. You've got all the steps and you've got the plan and you've got, everything's measurable, and we're tracking everything, but you're going to hit some bumps in the road and that's just part of it. But be flexible, be open to maybe changing course or just, pivoting a little bit or just, taking a sharp left, sometimes that may happen, but we know flexibility. We know we can adapt to a lot of things. We are DIYers. We are furniture flippers. This is the easy stuff. We know how to do that. So, but keep that same mindset when you're thinking about your goals and as you're working through your goals and towards your goals. So I hope this was helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions, or I'd love to hear your story, how you achieve goals, what's worked for you. Reach out to me at lindsay@mycreativedays.com. You can always reach out to me on Instagram at mycreativedays. You can find the link to the Furniture Flipping Academy inside the show notes. So definitely check that out. I want to see you in there. I want to be cheering you on throughout your journey. I want to be helping you in any way I can. So definitely check that out. And until next time, I hope you have a great day and I will talk to you soon. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I'm grateful that you tune in every week and that you share the show with your family and friends. I love having creative chit chats with you, and my hope is that this podcast will inspire you to try a new project, start a DIY that you've been putting off, and decorate your home exactly how you want it. There are a few ways you can help us with the podcast. Follow the podcast so you don't miss an episode. And if you could take a few minutes to leave the podcast a review, that would help us so much. Again, thank you for being here, and I look forward to our chat next week. Bye-bye.